Hi everybody, it's Elena from Power for Parkinsons, and thank you for joining us for this standing circuit. We're calling it a Standing Warriors Circuit, so I'm glad you're here. You might be doing this video if you have young onset PD, or if you're a little bit more mobile, agile. We're going to be getting up and down off the ground today. So I want to make sure that this workout is going to help you reach your fitness goals in a safe way. If you're not so sure about getting up and down off the ground and moving a little bit faster than we normally do, check out some of our other videos or give this one a try, okay? So we're gonna get started with a warm-up, and then what I'm gonna do is bring you right into this circuit. We're not gonna need any equipment for today's circuit, not even a watch. So I was trying to think about making this as simple as I could make it, because I know the holidays are coming up and so things get really busy. Some people even travel and whatnot. So I was trying to think of an exercise you might be able to keep in your back pocket if you're staying in a hotel or if your routine's a little bit off and you're not in your usual space with your equipment. So no equipment needed today. We're going to be counting our reps instead of moving by time. It's going to be really fun. It's a full body exercise. All of these movements are specifically interwoven throughout our workout to target different symptoms of PD, and we'll talk about that throughout. So what we're going to do is get started with 2 breaths and then move right into our warm-up. Bring your feet about hip width apart. I forgot to mention that while you don't need any equipment, you do need some water. So go ahead, grab some water. And I also have a chair nearby, which we will need for one exercise, a chair or a wall or just something steady. So maybe be near a wall. Okay, now we can bring our feet hip width apart, and we'll get started with 2 deep breaths just to orient ourselves into our space. Here we go. Take a big inhale, reach your arms out, reach them up, lift your chest, lift your gaze. Exhale, reach out, reach down. Another big breath in, reach out, reach up as you lengthen your spine, stretch your side body. And exhale, reach out and reach down. Beautiful. Okay, that music is going to come in, and so is the movement. Starting with your feet hip width apart. We're going to move to the beat of the music here. We're going to push our hands forward, back, and up, down. All right, so full range of motion. Join in on the vocal pairing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Go front, back, up, down. Front, back, up, down. Woo! Nice. Front, back, up, down. Soft bend in your knees. Love it. Starting to stretch out your side body, your obliques. Starting to wake up your core. Now I want you to do the same movement, but cross your hands. Crossing the midline. Warming up our body, warming up our brain. Love it. You might start to add a little bend in the knees. Nice, y'all. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. We're going to do step jacks, opposite sides of the body. Go out, in. Nice. Let's do one more slow. Now we speed it up. Out, in. Full range of motion. Love it, y'all. Picking your feet up, reaching your arms out all the way. 4, 3, 2, let's march. Marching to the beat of the music. Love it. Make sure, tune in here, make sure your arms are involved in the party. Swinging your arms and opposite legs. Lifting your knees a little bit higher than if you were just walking. Swinging your arms a little bit more than if you were just walking. Love it. All right, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. We're going to keep marching. We're going to keep counting. We're going to hold on the 7 and the 8. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Are you counting with me? 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. March it out. Ooh, nice. All right, y'all. We're going to start to widen our feet out. Bring your feet to stillness. Heels in, toes out. Take an inhale, a lot of space, star pose. And then exhale, hands come down, goddess pose. Inhale, take up a lot of space. Exhale, lower your hips down. Knees are moving over your big toes or in that direction. Inhale. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, reach out and up. Last exhale to reach out and down. Take a minute here. Hands come to the meaty parts of your thighs. Maybe gently sway side to side. And then find stillness. Drop one shoulder down. Look up and over the other shoulder. Just a gentle, gentle twist. Slowly come back to stillness. Let's bring it to the other side. Drop your other shoulder. Gently gaze in the opposite direction. Slowly come back to center. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, hands come down to your hips. Slowly, heel, toe, your feet back, hip width apart. We'll end this warm up with a big breath in. Reach up and out and up. And exhale, reach out and down. Beautiful. I'm a little warmed up, and I know that because I'm out of breath. I can feel my heart rate elevated. I'm getting a little bit sweaty, a little bit warm. So let's keep moving. I'm going to show you our first exercise. So like I said, we don't need any equipment. This first exercise is designed to keep our heart rate elevated, maybe raise it a little bit higher. We're going to count as we do, you can call these standing shuffles or even standing hops. So I'll show you with a little hop and then we'll take it out. And what we'll do is we'll count 1, 2, and then we'll do 2 in the same direction. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so don't worry about the counting for now. Let's keep doing this movement. With a little bit of a hop, it looks like this. I want you to notice how my arms are really reaching forward and reaching back. And I want you to notice how I'm staying low. I'm staying low in the knees and the hips instead of being up here. And my chest is lifted, my core is tight. If you want to keep it lower impact without the hop, still a great exercise, this is what you do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks pretty much the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same arm swinging, same low hips, but instead of hopping from side to side, you're stepping. In both moves, I want you to lift your feet. So notice if you're kind of gliding your feet, we're going to lift our feet. All right. Since we're counting, what we're going to do is we'll go up to 8 and then backwards, count backwards from 8. We'll go up to 8 again, we'll count backwards from 8 again, and then we're done. All right, if you don't get it, that's fine, because I'm gonna be there with you, I'm gonna do it with you. Just do your best to keep up along. And that is a great time for me to point out that like all of our exercises, like all of our videos, please move at your own pace. So if you wanna dial it up a little bit and move quicker, be my guest. If you want to be near a wall, if you want to have a chair nearby for balance, slow it down a bit, be my guest. It's up to you, right? So an opportunity for everybody to find a workout that is great for their parents. Okay, here we go. I want you to count with me, okay? So starting with your knees bent. Oh, I'm scared to get started. We're just going to do it. Don't forget the arm swings. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we count backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count backwards. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Stand up tall. Okay, so like I said, keeping our heart rates elevated, a little bit out of breath. Our second exercise I'm really excited about. This is a great opportunity for us to work on our balance and also our hip hinge. So practicing driving our hips back. Hip hinging is one way we lower down. The other way is by bending our knees. So our hip hinge is a really great thing to keep practicing, being strong enough to do and flexible enough to do. Because obviously we use our hip hinge to sit down in a chair, to stand up, helps us protect our back and our knees. We're gonna do that today. Bring a chair nearby or move towards a wall. Let me show you what we're gonna do. I'm gonna put one hand on the back of this chair, the other hand on my hip, and then I'm gonna lift my knee, the knee that is closer to the chair. So not this knee. I'm gonna lift the knee that is on the inside closer to the chair. I'm gonna drive my hips back, drive my hips back. Eventually I'm looking towards the floor and I'm gonna lengthen my legs. So this is my stop position with my chest parallel towards the earth with my foot flexed. To get up from this, I'm gonna drive my hips forward, come back towards this standing position. Slowly lower down and then drive back up. If you wanna make it harder, you lift your hand off the back of that chair. If you wanna make this easier, then maybe you could start with your feet like this, right? 1 foot back. And what you'll do is you'll lower your hip, drive your hips back, lower your chest, and then pull your hips forward. So again, very similar to the movement, the other movement, but this time your back leg is on the ground for a little balance support. So either you do this, or you do this. And what we're gonna do is 10 on each leg, 2 times. So go ahead. Set yourself up for success. Your hands on a wall or a chair to get started. Maybe after a few reps you decide to release. All right, here we go. Lift your chest, lower your shoulders. Let's count together. That's 10. Lifting your knee up at the top. Slowly lowering your hips and your chest down. That's 9. 8. Feeling it in the back of my hamstring here. 7. Beautiful. Let's start to speed it up just a hair. 6, 5, 4, press down in your big toe, your pinky toe. 3, stay with me till the end. 2, if you lose your balance, join back in. And 1, beautiful. Finish this rep with your knee lifted and then lower down. Let's turn around in the other direction. Other hand finds the back of the chair, other leg lifts up, and then let's do the same movement on the other side. Here we go. 10, starting off slow. 9, beautiful. 8, keep moving. I'm gonna keep counting as I remind you to pull your hips back. So your chest doesn't start the movement, your hips start the movement. That's 5. Keep going. 4, press your big toe, your pinky toe down, hug your core in. 3, 2, last 1. Beautiful, finish with your knee up at 90 degrees and then slowly lower down. Ooh, shake it out. Okay, I'm really feeling this in my lower body, in the back of my hamstrings, in the back of my glutes, and also in my hips. So take a moment here before we do each side one more time. Maybe take a sip of water, maybe stretch your hips out. And while you take a bit of a breather, not too long, I want to talk about this move a little bit more. So like I said, this move is really practicing reinforcing our hip hinge. So I really wish I was in everybody's living room right now so that I could notice if you were doing this or not. But I'm going to trust you to notice on yourself. I want you to tune in, and I want you to notice if your hips, if what starts the movement. If the movement starts with your hips pulling back, and then your chest follows by coming parallel towards the earth. Or I want you to notice if instead, if you start to lean forward, your chest starts the movement, and then your hips follow. We want the first. We want your hips to start the movement. Imagine you have a rope around your hips, and I'm behind you, and I'm pulling your hips back. So pull your hips back, pull your hips back, pull your hips back, and then we'll drive it up to the top. Obviously, we're making this way harder for ourselves by doing it on one leg, so testing our balance. But remember, you have the option at any point to find a different modification to keep one foot lowered. I think we're ready to get back into it. Okay. Here we go, starting on the same side you started last time. One hand on your hip. You also have the option of holding your hand out towards the side if that's helpful. And I'm gonna give you another angle to see how I'm doing this in case that might be helpful for you. All right, here we go. At one of our starting positions, you find your starting position. We'll do 10 together. Might need to scoot over here. All right, let's do this. 10. Keep breathing. 9, 8, stand up tall at the top here. 7, 6, 5, keep breathing. 4, keep your core engaged. 3, 2, shoulders stay relaxed up until the very last rep. 1, bring your feet back towards the ground. Nice job. Woo, shake it out. Bring your chair over towards the other side. All right, last 10 reps of these balance exercises, hip hinge exercises, really strengthening the lower body. Here we go. Count with me. 10. Focusing on the hips, driving us back. 9. 8. Beautiful. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3. Keep it controlled. 2. Last 1. Finishing with your knee at 90 and then slowly lowering it down. Nice job. We are done with those. Whew. Feeling it on the outside of my hips. So what I want you to do is bring your feet hip width apart and just start to circle out your hips in a way that feels good to you as I show you our next exercise. So our last 3 exercises are going to be done on the ground. Excuse me. So you can get this chair out of the way. I'll put this one over here. And we're going to start on our hands and knees in a tabletop position. So get down there however is comfortable and feels good to you. When you get there, tabletop means hands under shoulders, knees under hips. I forgot the word knees for a minute. So here we are in tabletop, and then we'll all tuck our shoulders. Take a moment, roll your shoulders out, and then I want you to end by really pressing your hands into the earth and almost doming your upper back, okay? Pull your belly button towards your spine, tuck your toes. Here's what the exercise looks like. We lift our knees into elevated tabletop, and then we lower. That's 1. Lift, lower. That's 2. We're gonna do 10. We're gonna do 8. Rest, 8 more, and then we'll move on. This one is a really great exercise for our shoulders, chest, upper back, abs, the back of our core, all of the good stuff. So go ahead. Join me in tabletop, and remember the exercise here comes from lifting your knees and your shins up, slowly lowering down. The whole time you're gazing a little bit forward, neck stays long. Here we go. We're going to start by spelling November, the month that this video comes out. Here we go. In, O, slow it down a bit, V, E, keep breathing. M, B, E, R. Amazing. Take a moment of rest. Maybe you take a minute here, letting your hips hinge back, arms reach forward in child's pose. Maybe your hips swing around, you sit on your bum for a minute. Maybe you kind of want to sit on your heels. Just taking an opportunity to find your breath, maybe take a sip of water. We're going to do that exact same thing again. But instead of spelling November, we're just going to count up to 8, and then we'll move on. Okay. Maybe take a minute, swirl around your wrists. And then here we go. Join me in tabletop. This big core exercise, upper body shoulder exercise. Root your your palms into the earth. 10 knuckles, 10 fingertips. Starting from 8, counting down to 1. Here we go. 8, slow and controlled. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1. Can you hold it? Can you hold it? Can you hold it for 3, 2, 1. Lower your knees down. Surprise challenge there at the end. Nice job. Okay, our next exercise is a plank. So it's gonna also be on our hands, so you might find that same restful position. Take a sip of your water. But we're not doing just any plank. Of course not. You can if you want. Of course, you can just hold a plank, but I'm gonna give you an option to spice it up, and I'll give you other options too if you want to spice it up in different ways. So take a minute, keep breathing. Let me show you. I'm gonna do a plank up down. I'll start in this plank position with my hands under shoulders, feet back, long arms, and then I'll go down to my forearms and up to my palms. That's 1. I'll do it again, but I'll start on the other arm, down, and then up. That's 2. Down, up, that's 3. Down, up, that's 4. If I wanted some support, my knees might come onto the ground. If I wanted even more support, my hands might come towards that chair. So remember the chair that we used earlier? You can pull that back in and it might look like this. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Another option is to use the wall. Same way that you're using the chair, you would bring your forearms, or let's start here, down, up, down, up, right? So again, another opportunity to find a level that helps you reach your fitness goals, that helps you, toe that edge while staying safe and challenging yourself. Okay, I'm gonna do my best here on the ground. Sorry, write down that time. All right, I'm gonna do my best down on the ground. So here we go. Setting yourself up in a long arm plank. We're gonna count together, we'll do 8, then we'll take a rest and we'll do 8 more. Take a big breath in. Here we go, down, up, 1, down, up, 2, down, up, 3, down, up, 4, keep your chin off your chest, down, up, 5, down, up, 6, keep breathing, down, up, 7, down, up, 8. Whoo, knees come down towards the ground. That was hard. Take a moment, take a big sip of water. We're doing awesome, y'all. We're flying through this workout, I love it. All right, we're gonna do that same movement, a plank up, down, 8 more times, exact same way as before. This time I want you to notice your hips. Now that you're a little bit more familiar with the movement, I want you to notice if your hips are really rocking side to side as you go down and up. So you'll notice here that my hips are really rocking, and that's not a bad thing. That's okay if your hips are really rocking. This time though, I want you to notice if you can bring a little bit more stillness into your hips. I like to imagine that I have headlights on my hip bones, and I want you to keep those headlights shining down towards the ground. So this is just one way to really focus on the movement being in our core, keeping our core engaged. Take it or leave it, maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Okay, plank up downs, 8 reps. Let's do this. Find your plank, whatever that looks like for you. And here we go. Down, up, 1, down, up, 2, down, up, 3. Keep your gaze ahead. 4, down, up, 5, down, up, 6, you've got this, up, 7, down, up, 8, yes, nice job, my friends. We are done on our wrist. What I want you to do is swing your feet around. We're gonna come onto our tush. Whoo, all right, nice work. All right, we have a few more ab exercises and then we're gonna cool it down. So like I said, keeping it simple today, but really packing a punch. So this next exercise is, we're gonna start in boat pose. So I want you to keep your feet on the ground about hip-width apart, and then you could bring your hands to your shins or your knees maybe, and just take a moment to roll your shoulders, and start to lift your chest. And then shoulders find stillness, low, relaxed, away from our ears. And then bring your hands up, palms lifted, long straight arms. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lift our right leg and then we'll put it down. Lift your left leg and then put it down. Right leg lifts, left leg lifts. Beautiful, keep it going. Right leg up, down. Left leg up, down. If you wanna make this harder, lean back a little bit farther while still keeping your chin off your chest lifted, your spine long. A few more heel lifts. 3, 2, 1, bring both of your feet down, lean forward, wrap your arms around your shins, let your chin come to your chest, round out your spine. Just take a moment here. I like to think of this as my little love cocoon. So hang out here in this little private cave. stretch out your back, sway side to side, and then slowly start to sit up. We're gonna do that boat pose again. Palms lift up, we lean back. This time I want you to lift your right leg, lift your left leg, hold them up, and then slowly lower them down. This time lift your left leg. Keep it lifted as your right leg joins, and then slowly lower down. This time lift both legs, slowly lower down. 3 more times, lift both legs, slowly lower down. 2 more, lift both legs, slowly lower down. Last time, lift both legs, hold it, lift your chest. 3, 2, 1. Feet come towards the ground. We lean forward, finding that love cave again. Chin towards your chest. Maybe sway side to side. Y'all, I'm sweating. I'm out of breath. If you are too, I'm glad that you are doing this workout with me. I'm glad you're doing this workout with me, even if you're not sweating and out of breath. How about that? Well, I appreciate the effort, whatever that looks like. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. I got 2 more exercises. I'm so excited about this next one. I'm calling it the dead bug pulley. So we've done dead bugs before on a standing warrior video. So let me remind you of what the dead bug is. This is our starting position. Knees over hips, hands over shoulders. As one arm reaches out, my opposite arm extends. As one leg reaches out, my opposite arm extends, and then I come back towards the center. Then I'll switch sides and come back towards the center. I'm gonna move this table so that I don't kick these beautiful flowers over. But you keep going on your dead bug. Join in if you haven't yet, and I want you to notice what your lower back is doing. If your lower back is peeling off the ground, then take a minute. Take 1 step out of this exercise, bring your feet towards the ground, and just keep the exercise in the upper body. Still strengthening your core, your lats, your chest, your shoulders. If your lower body is involved, this is a great exercise for the brain. Doing contralateral movements, opposite sides of the body, working in coordination. That is just the first half of this exercise. We're gonna do a dead bug. Let's start with right arm, left leg going down, and then when we get to the top, we bend our arm and we straighten our leg. Switch sides, back, get to your starting position, bend your arm, straighten your leg. So really practicing coordination, contralateral movements, strengthening our hamstrings, quads, core, upper body. It's gonna be great. We're going to do 10, rest, 10, and then we'll move on to our last exercise. How about that? All right, starting position, check in on that lower back, pull your belly button towards your spine, maybe even scoop your hips under, and here we go. Starting with your right arm, left leg, go back to your starting position, and then lengthen your arm, bend your leg. Beautiful, switch sides. Back, up, bend and lengthen, back to starting. That's 2. Nice, y'all. Go back, up, bend and straighten. That's 4. Back, up, bend and straighten. 5. Back, up, bend and straighten. 6. Back, up, bend, straighten. Yes. Back, up, bend, straighten. 2 more. Back, up, bend, straighten. Last one. Back, up, bend, straighten. Woo! Okay, bring your feet towards the ground. Maybe you just hang out here, keeping your shoulders nice and low on the ground. Maybe your knees fall in to rest on each other. Woo! Maybe you sit up and take a sip of water. We just have a moment here, and then we're gonna do 10 more of those. So that was a lot, obviously. I said it was my favorite exercise, but what I didn't tell you before we started it is that it's probably the trickiest. Obviously, it's probably the trickiest because there's so much going on. The name of the game here is multitasking and coordination, as we're asking one side of the body to do one thing, the other side of the body to do a different thing. So if you're having a hard time with it, that's on purpose. This one is supposed to be giving you a hard time. You don't have to be nailing it. I just hope you're trying. Okay, here we go. Starting back with those dead bug pulleys. Here's our starting position. Circle your ankles, circle your wrists, shake it out. Take a big breath in. Exhale, engage your core. Here we go. Back, up, bend, straighten. 1, back, up, bend, straighten. 2, back, up, bend, straighten. 3, back, up, bend, straighten. 4, back, up, bend, straighten. 5, back, up, bend, straighten. 6, back, up, bend, straighten. Stick with it. Keep breathing. 2 more. Back, up, bend, straighten. Back, up, last 1. Beautiful. All right, everybody, bring your feet towards the ground. While we're here, we're going to do a short stretch. We're going to bring our feet wide, hips stay low, shoulders stay low. Slowly bring your knees over towards the right side, and then windshield wiper them up and over to the left. This feels funny. Bring your feet wider apart. Externally and internally rotating your hips one direction and the other. And then whenever that feels good, we're gonna slowly roll up, or maybe roll onto your side and then press yourself up. However you wanna make your way to standing for our last exercise. All right, we'll meet in standing. We'll take a quick sip of water. Our last exercise is a wall sit. So I said this was a no equipment workout, but I hope you have a wall nearby because we've been using that for balance. But if you don't, instead of a wall sit, which looks like this, you could also do a squat hold, which is similar, but instead your shoulders are leaning forward to help you keep your balance. I'm gonna do a wall sit because I have a wall here. So what you do is you press your hips, your shoulders into the wall, then you start to walk your feet forward. You can stop here. You can take 2 inches forward and this is your wall sit, or you can keep moving your feet, dropping your hips, coming all the way down to 90-degree angles in your hips and knees. Maybe this is your wall sit, or anywhere in between. I think today, my edge is somewhere about here. What we're gonna do is we'll all find our wall sit, and then exhale, slowly lower your shoulders. We're gonna count back from 20, nice and slow, but as we do it, we're gonna open our hands and then close them. Here we go. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, open them wider, 12, 11, pause, sit 1 inch lower. Let's alternate hands for these last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ooh, right away, shake it out. Start to walk your feet closer to the wall. Stand up tall. All right, y'all take a big inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, reach out and down. Move towards your water bottle. You did amazing. Okay, we just have a few minutes of movement left together, but the hard part is over. Cheers to you. I'm proud of you. Like I said, I really appreciate you joining. So we just did an amazing workout. We did so much core strengthening here, but also a lot of balance. We did our balance hip hinge. We practiced our balance with the elevated tabletop, with the up-down planks. So much cognition with the dead bugs, got both sides of our body and our brain working together. I'm just trying to emphasize what great work you just did. So I'm really proud of you. If you haven't patted yourself on the back yet or high-fived your workout buddy, do that. All right, here come these last few minutes of a little bit more gentle movement, helping us bring our heart rate down, starting to stretch our muscles out. What I want you to do is similar to before, bring your feet wide, and then just start to circle your hips out and around. Switch directions. Nice job. And then come to stillness. Stillness with your hips under your shoulders. And then with your right toes, I want you to face your right toes towards the side of the room. Notice how my left toes are still facing forward. And then we're gonna press our hips over towards the left side. Nice, your hands could stay on your hips, or maybe one of your hands comes closer to your shin, your hand could reach up. I like my hands on my hips. You could gaze towards your toes, you could gaze forward or up, or anywhere in between. I'm feeling this stretch on the inside and the back and outside of my thighs, hamstrings. Slowly start to stand up, bringing your hips back underneath your hips. Toes face forward, and then we switch sides. Now our left toes face the side. Right toes are facing forward, hands are on your hips to start. Slowly press your hips over to the right. Stretching out your thigh. And on this side too, you could gaze down at your toes, you could gaze forward or up. Still breathing, taking a few more seconds. And then slowly standing up tall. Beautiful. I want you to open your arms out wide and then slowly reach forward, crossing your arms. And notice how I'm kind of rounding my upper back. Arms come out wide, arching my back, and then I reach forward, slowly rounding my back, even tucking my hips. Open your chest, stretch out your muscles, and then slowly reach forward, tuck your hips, round your back. A few more at your own pace. Noticing that my heart rate's a little bit lower. I'm starting to breathe at more of my normal pace. Nice. All right, we're gonna slowly stretch your wrist out. So circle one wrist, then the other. And then what we'll do is we'll bring our hands together. And then imagine that you're swimming like a little fish. And then swim backwards. Nice, and then bring your hands up and down, side to side. Make a circle, opposite direction. Beautiful. One more stretch here. Bring one foot forward. You might use the wall for balance here. One foot forward, flex your toe. Here comes the hip hinge that we practiced earlier. I'm feeling this in the back of my thigh. You might sway your hips. Keep your gaze lifted ahead for me. And you know, I always think it's a great idea to stretch more, whether or not you did a hard exercise, but you did a hard exercise today. So as you slowly stand up and bring your feet together and then switch sides, might I encourage you to even do a little bit more stretching today. So I don't know if you have time to do a whole other little stretching video, or maybe you have plans later and as you're sitting around chatting with people, you could squeeze in a few stretches, but really want to encourage you to stretch it out after this hard workout, because that's all the stretching that we have time for today. So thank you so much for joining. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you liked. Let me know what you didn't like. I love hearing from y'all. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and come back and see us soon, y'all. All right, thanks for joining. Bye.